In this video, I want to talk about the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is a formula for solving general quadratic equations of the form ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. So the first step in using the quadratic formula is we do need everything on one side of the equation and a 0 on the right-hand side. Then the quadratic equation tells me my solutions are negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So let's look at some examples of using this quadratic formula. Let's start with x squared plus 9x minus 4 equal to 0. In this case, a is equal to 1 since that's the number in front of x squared. B is 9, the number in front of x. And c is negative 4, the constant. So we would have negative b, or negative 9, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 9 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is negative 4, all over 2 times a, which is 1. So this is negative 9 plus or minus the square root of 9 squared is 81. Negative 4 times 1 times negative 4 is positive 16 all over 2. Well, 81 plus 16 is 97 over 2. So my two solutions, negative 9 plus the square root of 97 over 2, and negative 9 minus the square root of 97 over 2. Next, let's look at 2x squared minus 36 equal to x. The first step would be to subtract x from both sides to make sure everything is on one side of the equation. In this case, a would be 2, the number in front of x squared. B is negative 1, the number in front of x. And c is negative 36, the constant. So we have x is equal to negative b, so negative 1, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so negative 1 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 2, times b, which is negative 36, all over 2 times a, which is 2. So negative 1 is 1. 1 squared is 1. Negative 4 times 2 times negative 36 is positive 288. And 2 squared is 4. So this is 1 plus or minus the square root of 289 over 4. Well, we can keep going. The square root of 289 is actually 17. So now I have two solutions, 1 plus 17 over 4 and 1 minus 17 over 4. 1 plus 17 is 18, and 18 over 4 will reduce to 9 over 2. Negative 1 minus 17 is negative 16 over 4, which reduces to negative 4. So in this case, I have two solutions, 9 over 2 and negative 4. And the fact that I got actually nice answers instead of answers including a square root like my last example tells me that I could have originally factored this equation. So the quadratic equation is very nice if you don't know how to factor a particular equation or you don't want to factor a particular equation, a particular quadratic. The quadratic formula will still work and give you your solution. Let's do 9x squared minus 11 plus equal to 6x. We start by getting everything on one side, so I'm going to subtract 6x to get 9x squared minus 6x minus 11 equal to 0. So a is the number in front of x squared, b, the number in front of x, c, the constant. So my formula says negative b, so negative 6, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so minus 6 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 9, times c, which is minus 11, all over 2 times a, which is 9. So that's 6 plus or minus the square root of 36. Negative 4 times 9 times negative 11 is plus 396, all over 18. 36 plus 396 is 432 over 18. And we can actually simplify this. 432 is the same thing as 144 times 3. And we know the square root of 144. That's 12. We don't know the square root of 3, so I'm going to leave that there, over 18. I can factor the top. I can pull out a 6. When I do, I'm left with 1 plus 2 square root of 3 over 18. And now that I'm multiplying in my numerator, I can simplify. 6 divided by 18 is 1/3. So this is 1 plus or minus 2 root 3 all over 3, since, like I said, 6 divided by 18 is 1/3.